Good day, everybody. Of course, you are officially locked into another episode of The Rewind with Besa. I took a week off, and I really feel like I needed that week off. You know, I was doing them every single week, which is kind of weird for me, and your girl kind of likes to sleep in on the weekends. Anywho, this is a really good time for you guys to share the stream. Let anyone know if they are in music and they want to learn how they can be on KUBE 93.3's New at 10. Obviously, we have this week's pick of the week, whose name is Tre Da Don. He'll be joining us in a little bit. Topic-wise, let me let you guys know what we're talking about today. These mask mandates. It's very interesting on how these mask mandates are working. I'll give you guys my thoughts on those in a little bit. J. Cole dropped some new music. Nicki Minaj dropped new music. Drake has some new investments. I also want to talk a little bit about Seattle nightlife. Again, obviously, we want to talk about our pick of the week. And then I'll let you guys kind of know how I've been working through my anxieties. Like, I feel like it's kind of a random thing for me to toss this in, but because I've been talking about my anxieties and self-improvement so much on my Instagram and on my TikTok, I figure I will bring it here also. So let's talk a little bit about New at 10 before we bring in our guest. For those of you that may or may not know, or just maybe want some more information, New at 10 is a new segment that I'm doing on KUBE 93.3, where literally I highlight new music and PNW artists that you should know about. Right now, my main focus is on PNW artists. I've done all artists that's mainly here in Seattle right about now, but some of them haven't been from like literally Seattle. Like last week's was J Loud. He's from Indianapolis. I know Trey's not necessarily from here, but you know, sometimes when you're here for a minute, Seattle kind of becomes home, or Tacoma becomes home. You know what I mean? Like we call them transplants, but I mean, you're really just here just by seeds getting sprinkled around, if you know what I mean. Anyways, I want to give you guys a little quick preview of the song before we bring in Trey. I'm also driving the boat today, so this is going to be fun. I kind of want to do this a little bit more. If you ask me, it kind of makes me slow down and kind of relax a little bit, because one thing you guys don't know is that sometimes I have little bitty anxiety attacks during my show, and I think I kind of want to share more of these things with you guys, because I think people assume that I'm one way when I'm like really a big overthinker, and I want for people to know that that's normal. Like I don't want for people to automatically assume that just because they're always overthinking things, they're doing the most, when it's like, no, I do it too. So anyways, this week's New at 10 pick of the week, like I said, was Tre Da Don. If you missed it, this was the promo.
KUBE 93.3 presents New at 10 with Besa Gordon.
Highlighting new music you should know.
Every Wednesday on KUBE 93.3.
What's up? It's Besa Gordon. New at 10 is back, and this week's pick of the week is Tre Da Don, Thinking Out Loud.
But it's that pain for me, not strange to me. Don't need no fake love, keep your sympathy. I can't lie, my situation, it been changing me. They turned their back when I was down, you ain't no friend to me.
All right. With that being said, we would like to welcome in this week's guest, Tre Da Don.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hey, how you doing? Hope you're doing mighty fine.
I'm doing pretty good.
Good, good, good. Okay, so hopefully next time we can actually get you here with us. But the beauty of COVID, I feel like it's made it to where when things kind of happen out of nowhere, we're just like, okay, we'll just do it virtually. All is well.
Yeah.
Like we don't have to like stop anything. We don't have to slow anything down. We can literally just keep it moving. So first of all, before we get into this week's news, I am curious to know if you were able to catch the song being played on Wednesday.
I did. So I actually got to call my dad and spend that time with my dad. Like it was a big thing for me, for my dad to hear my music over the radio. So I called him. We were locked in. It was a great moment.
What was like, what would you say was the biggest memory of that moment? Like, did your dad say anything to you? Like, did he have any like reactions?
It was just him saying he was like, wow, like he was amazed. You know, he understands the work I put into my music, the amount of time, the amount of money. So for to hit him, just basically say he's proud of me in so many words, it was like it kind of blew me away.
Now, I do want to talk a lot more about that song in a little bit because
Okay.
it's not necessarily just a song that you just hear and you kind of go on about your day. Like you have a
Mhm.
lot of pain in that song. You're telling a lot of stories in that song. So we definitely want to break that down so people can get to know you a little bit more.
Okay.
But of course, we got to talk about these local things that's going on, and I want to get some of your takes on it.
Okay.
First of all, we have the whole mask mandate thing, right? You know,
Mhm.
they're basically saying if you're fully vaccinated, you don't necessarily have to wear a mask when you're outside, when you're indoors, or even necessarily at work. I just saw that the labor industries, I want to say it's called, or something like that, is making it to where all you have to do, well, employers can make it to where their employees have to be vaccinated, but they just have to prove it. They have to keep a log. And then the other thing is you have people kind of feeling away about the whole, oh, it's kind of like an honorary system when it comes
Mhm.
to these masks. So I'm curious to know what you think about it. Like, are you still wearing your mask in public? Do you feel like we can trust the America that recently put gas in plastic bags? It's a
So
thing.
my take on it, like, yes, I do wear my mask sometimes. Sometimes I don't. Depends on the environment where I'm at. Uh, I'm not too much afraid of COVID, but I understand the take COVID has. So on the people. So I'm really depending on the environment, who I'm around. I wear my mask.
Fair enough. And like I know it's so weird. Like I'll be walking around downtown. Like today I'm probably gonna walk home just because by the time we leave here, the sun should be out. And I know that when I walk through Pike Place, I'm gonna pull my mask up. If I'm
Mhm.
like free and no one's around, I'm gonna put it down. But it's something about those crowds. Have you had any time to go out and like enjoy life? Like bars are reopening. So like have you been pulling up to bars or
So throughout COVID, to keep my music going, I've been traveling back and forth a lot with through to my manager to Atlanta, Fresh Pharaoh. So we've been back and forth from Atlanta, Dallas, just traveling, networking, and marketing. So coming from being from Seattle is like mask, mask, mask. Then you go out of town, and Atlanta is really open. It's like
yeah.
you wear it, you do, you don't, you don't.
Do you feel like you kind of have like a hot potato type thing? Like, I don't know. I thought I was ready to just be in public without my mask until where did I go? I want to say like Wednesday, I went to Thomas Woodhouse or something like that,
Mhm.
or Wood Warehouse or Warehouse. And it was packed and nobody had mask on in there, but like maybe 5 or 10 people max, but nobody
Mhm.
had mask on, which gave me like massive anxiety. So are you comfortable without the mask on when you're downtown Atlanta at these clubs, or is it
I
just
am.
when you're in
Most
Seattle?
most times I'm really only get scared or like up when people start coughing. I'm like, okay, you got COVID. It's just that mindset. So I'm big on the mask. Them. Other than that, it really doesn't bother me.
Fair enough, fair enough. Where were you from again?
I'm from Alabama,
Okay, you're from
Tuscaloosa.
Alabama. Okay, good. So this man right here is not your people's, and that is very, very good. A Virginia rapper is charged after posing on top of a SWAT truck for an album cover during the Capitol riot. Now, not only did he do that, when I read through the comments, apparently his attorneys are saying that he casually and respectfully roamed through the Capitol and got video footage and like photos for the shoot. My question to you as an artist is it ever that damn serious?
It's not, but you have a lot of artists who tap into their fan base to do things like that. Their fans expect that. So some artists go to that extreme to please their fans. Me personally, I don't do that.
Fair. And it's smart that you don't do that. I couldn't believe that he thought he would get away with that. It's like not
Yeah.
only do you know for a fact that they're looking for everybody that was there and that was in there? You took these photos and released them on your own. So now he's like getting federally charged. Either way, J. Cole dropped some new music. Have you gotten a chance to check out his album?
Yes, I'm a huge J. Cole fan. I was start to finish, I'm a huge J. Cole fan. That first song just drew me in. So
See, I haven't gotten a chance to check it out, but he has this one song where it's like something about a liar. I don't know. I remember saying the title on air and I was like, only J. Cole can get me to say something like this on air. Like the title was like so left field. And I was like, you typically don't talk about this, but here it is. It's the song title. I didn't make it that. Did you get a chance to see his little documentary with 21 Savage?
I haven't yet. I was actually going to tune into it this evening. I heard some guys talking about it yesterday. I haven't got a chance to watch it. I've been so busy running around. It's been hectic, but I'm going to sit down probably sometime this weekend and get into it.
Okay, I'm going to play you a little clip of it, and then
Okay.
I want to get your thoughts on something that he says.
I was like, yo, do you really want to look back 10, 20 years from now with this music shit and be like, the reason you didn't make it in music because you ain't put in the work? So I was like, fuck it. That was where the warm-up came from. Every day, nigga, I woke up, wrote verses, made beats. So, and so all that to say, the off season was like the same concept. Like, one more time before I leave, like before I feel like I'm like fulfilled in this game, let me try to reach new heights from a skill level standpoint.
Now, real quick, as a J. Cole fan, do you think this will be his last album?
I don't think it's his last album. I think it's his last album trying to improve himself. Like, Cole has been big on making a name for himself, making sure people know he's the GOAT. I think with this album, it's like basically solidifying himself. Like, this is who I am. I'm here. This is it.
I could see that. You know, like he did recently go overseas and he played basketball for a little bit. So I think you might really be onto something there. Cause I think what happened with J. Cole, at least in my opinion, I don't know about you, I feel like he had a sound and then he went mainstream and then he had to tweak it a little bit because maybe labels or just whoever was around him. And then coming back to this, I'm like, oh, he's like back. Like he was like, I've been sitting on this. I've been watching. I've been peeping. What would you say, aside from the first song, is like one song that people should really like listen to right now on the J. Cole?
Oh, it's just a song about the devil. I can't think about the name of it now off the back of my head, but that
Is
song
it The Devil is a Liar? That might be the one. That's the song I was talking about. I was like, only J. Cole can get me to say the devil is a liar on the radio, but here we are.
Yeah.
So, okay, aside from that, Nicki Minaj also dropped some new music. People were a little bit upset about the whole mixtape thing, but my question to you is, do you feel like people are still doing mixtapes in 2021?
Yeah, of course. So the way it works now is like even an artist now. It's like me, I'm not mainstream. I'm getting my name out now. So I'm dropping albums, but I'm considering those mixtapes. Like, so in this album, the project I'm working on now is gonna be my debut album. But if you look on Apple Music, I have 4 albums out. So it's all about, they say album mixtape is all the same things. It all depends on the situation you're in and how you're dropping music.
Fair enough. Speaking of music, so this week we ended up playing your song "Thinking Out Loud" on KUBE 93.3. That was our pick of the week. And I really want to know, first of all, when Trey hit me up about the song, he told me that it was going viral on TikTok. I was like, ooh, you know how I am about TikTok. Let me see what's going on. So I look, and that video was like literally on the cusp of hitting 600,000 views. So let's talk about the thought process of you actually putting that clip up on TikTok, because it's almost one of your first videos.
So honestly, I had a couple of videos before that I took down, me like playing softball and doing other than whatnot things, just everyday life. But for that video, I never did it. I never expected to blow up. Before that video came up, I only had like 47 followers on TikTok. Some of my fans, some of my friends and family. And I posted it only to have content for those who are actually following me already. So I was legit overnight. I posted it, went to bed, didn't think about it twice. Woke up the next morning, I was like, holy shit. Like, it went crazy. And I was like, wow. And just to get that feedback from it. So I never expected it. So it was mind blowing.
So what would... One thing that I did see in the comments, because obviously the song is very powerful, but a lot of people are comparing you to Rod Wave. Somebody else said Kevin Gates. I saw Mo 3. How do you feel about some of the comparisons that you're getting in the comment section?
For me, it's all motivation. Like you compare me to Rod Wave, that guy's hot. Kevin Gates, he's mainstream, he's known. Mo 3, he was known. So for me, it's like I'm good with that. Like I have my own unique sound. Like I rap, I do pain songs back and forth. If my pain song sound like Rod Wave, I'm not trying to make it sound like Rod Wave, but I'll take it. To me, that's me. It's not. I don't take this criticism. To me, it's like, okay, thank you, I appreciate it.
I will say that you actually do a really, really good job in the comment section. Like you'll read a comment, it'll be a little bit of like a backhanded compliment, and you're
Mhm.
just like, "Thank you, I appreciate you, like thank you for your support." Like I feel like some people will typically see some of the comments that you get, and they'll like start flashing on people, and they'll cuss them out. But you just really seem to stay very, very humble. So tell us a little bit about like your childhood growing up and how you have become like this humble guy.
It takes time. Like I said, I grew up, down south, small town. Everybody knows everybody. Not really a lot of finances there. Kind of poor. But it's one of those things that I grew up. I lost my mom at an early age. Went through a lot of traumas as a kid. It just my life itself is humbled me to that level where it's like, okay, cool. I've been through worse. You can say what you want to say, do what you want to do. I appreciate it. Keep moving. Because you got a lot of people searching for attention. They want me to lash back out. Now it's, oh, this artist with 500,000 views on this TikTok arguing with me. Like they're posting that. And no, I don't give people the time of day to say that. I want everything around to be positive. I've been through so much in my life that's negative that I'm only searching for positive now.
How do you actually find the positive? Like for you, is it more so the people that you keep around you, or is it kind of regulating your mindset?
Oh, that's a little bit of both. Like I take time to myself a lot, and just write music or just playing a video game or just watching TV, just constant like committed time to just me. No distractions, not around anybody else. But on the other side, I have a great support system. My dad, that's like my best friend, my actual best friend from like preschool. We're still close. He's here in Washington, and even like my man is like fresh. Like we're just like everybody I have around me. I consider them family. So when I need the support system, they're there. So it keeps me motivated.
So tell me a little bit about your most recent project. It's called Goodbyes and New Beginnings.
Mhm.
Very deep project. Once again, I feel like you have such a really good job, or like you do a really good job at painting your feelings into the music. And I think a lot of people really want to do that, or they really try to do that,
Mhm.
but it doesn't always come off like I can literally see some of your pain. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So how do you become so comfortable to actually put that out there? Like I literally feel like you just are like, this is what's in here. I'm putting it out here and I'm gonna see who it affects. Because some of the comments, I think one of them, somebody's looked like they've been listening to that song 10 times a day for like 3 days straight.
Mhm. So for me, my music and my songwriting is therapeutic. Like I
Hmm.
said, it's times where I do have down days from stuff that happened in my past and it bothers me. I don't let it, so I get a pen and paper and I write. And I'm really big on poetry. I'm really big on just I used to have a journal for like 6 7 years. After my mom passed, just putting everyday struggles in my journal. So it's like my music, that was me. It's not me to give it to the world, even though I am. It's me expressing myself. It just happened that I enjoy putting it out to the world because you never know who's going through things. Like one comment was like, "My mom died 2 weeks ago. I feel your pain. This song's helped me getting through," and that's what it's about as an artist. That I got somebody that person will support you no matter what, because in their lowest point, you were a person that they came to and pretty much brought them out of a funk that is hard to come out of.
No, absolutely. Who is there Are there any artists that you listen to that actually also help you get out of funks? Like maybe like obviously your music, your journaling is great, but I know I have certain songs that I listen to when I'm down. Is there like any songs or artists that really kind of pep you back up?
And this is gonna be funny because people say I sound like him, but Rod Wave a lot. Rod Wave, and I'm a big Wayne fan just because Wayne brings me. Like I have Little Wayne is when I play Little Wayne when I'm really down. He gets me out of that funk. Whereas with Rod Wave, I'm in my feelings. I just want to vibe out and think about certain things. I play Rod Wave. So those two people for me are like my favorite artists.
Now, how did you end up getting up to Seattle from Alabama?
So I'm a military. So I'm getting out of the
Mm.
military soon. I'll be out within the next 2 or 3 months. But yeah, came with the military, went them back home, decided to get away and start a new life.
So, with Seattle and with you traveling in and out of Seattle, what would you say is the biggest difference between, and I always love asking people this, the music scene here versus in other places?
The support, simple,
Mm.
like people like you that like you're here. It's only a few of you that do what you do. In Atlanta, it's every other person does this. Every other person promoting my best friend music. Like the support systems here are so I don't like this person because I don't know him. Whereas down there, if you're good, you're good. Everybody supports you. Like that's the biggest difference in support system.
Wow. I think it's so sad that that's like what everybody always says. And I'm like, is it because we don't have more people like me up here? Or is it because people just don't want to support others that are on the come
I
up?
think it's a little bit of both. Like you
Mm.
got people like the music is starting to pick up now. So you get more and more people that coming in that want to do what you do. And although you got people who are just like, you're gonna always have haters. You know what I mean? Like just simple as that.
So, with your song Thinking Out Loud, do we have a music video coming out for it soon?
I do. So I'm looking to shoot that one maybe the middle of June. I got a couple of dates set aside. I'm actually go back home and shoot that one. So the visual is gonna be real deep. It's gonna be real detailed. You're gonna enter my path, like my life that nobody sees a lot. It's real in depth.
I'm here for it. Are you going to do any do you have any features that you can talk about coming up, or at least that you want to manifest?
Not right now. I've been doing a couple of features myself, and guys just hit me up, but nothing major yet. Like my next project probably will be just all me. I'm gonna go in. It's my debut album. I want to just put like all sides of me out and just be me.
Okay. And then let me ask you this before I end up letting you go pretty soon. I love to ask people what their misconceptions are. Like what would be the 3 misconceptions of Tre Da Don?
That I'm a sad person. One, people
Mm.
think I'm depressed when they hear my music a lot. That I kind of somewhat don't have like sympathy. I've been hearing that a lot lately. And the other one is that I don't have. I think the biggest one I've heard so far though would have to be the fact that I'm selfish as a person. That I keep to myself.
And that makes you selfish?
You know, people don't know you and you don't know them and you don't do what they want you to do all the time. It makes you like he's selfish, but I just don't know you. You know what I mean? Like I'm not an introvert. Like I'm very outspoken, very outgoing. Like you've seen me out before, basically. But me personally, like I don't like to entertain such situations. And because of the group I've been around and the group I'm forced to be around sometimes, that kind of is kind of oh, I don't like that guy. He think he's better than everybody else. And actually, I'm the most down to earth person you can ever meet.
It sounds like an energy thing to me. Like for me, I'm one of those people where I don't always like to make plans with people ahead of times because if within like that day I have like a weird energy vibe, I just don't want to be around you anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want to be around anyone. And so it makes it to where people, I think they feel the same way about me, but they've kind of gotten used to it because I'm like, look, it is what it is. If the energy seems off, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not coming out the house, nothing. So right now people are able to stream your most recent album, Goodbyes and New Beginnings on all streaming platforms. I'm guessing Thinking Out Loud is also on all streaming platforms.
It is.
Otherwise, do you have anything else coming up that you want to share with the people?
So that's it. I have my debut album coming out. The name of the album will be Pain Through My Eyes. It's going to be real big. I say it's going to be a lot in depth. It won't be all pain songs. It'll be a lot of different genres of rap. But my focus will be on my pain songs, just letting people in depth with everything from my love life to what I'm going through with my case, what I'm going through with my the traumas from my childhood. It'll be real in depth. So that's my next project coming out. It's going to be my debut album, Pain Through My Eyes, probably middle of July.
Okay, well, we will definitely keep a good lookout for that. I want to thank you so much for joining me, Tre. I can't wait to hear more of your music. Like, you are super talented. And again, I just love how you are just able to literally musically paint out your pain and
thank you.
Make it to where it's a vibe, to where you're just touching so many people. So you're super talented. Keep it up and definitely send me some more music.
All right, thank you. All love.
Bye. All right, you guys, we are going to go to a quick commercial break. And then when I come back, we're going to talk a little bit about Seattle nightlife and Drake's most recent investments. Stay locked to the Rewind with Besa.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.
Welcome back to the Rewind with Besa on Converge Media. If you have not, please share the stream, like the stream, comment on the stream, even if you're just saying, hey, how you doing? Hope you're doing mighty fine, all right? Now, Drake actually recently did a really dope investment that, at least I think is a dope investment. As you guys know, I'm not eating chicken because I ended up finding that frozen worm trying to crawl its way out of my damn chicken. That was very disturbing. I am still highly traumatized, and we're just going to keep moving forward on that note. However, I did see that Drake, among a few other investors, they actually donated not donated, but they put in $40 million into this company that basically has I think they call it like fox chicken, but basically it's vegan chicken, child. And I think it's great. My question is, what kind of vegan chicken is this? Because I've been on, TikTok a lot, as you guys know, and there's like this lady, I forget her name, but she makes these chicken strips, but it's mushroom. I want to say it's called chicken of the wood mushrooms. I hear they're kind of expensive. They're a little hard to find, and they're only in certain seasons, but one thing I've really been noticing is that there's a lot of meat, especially chicken substitutes in mushrooms. So I'm hoping that that's something that this particular company is doing, because let's be honest, we really don't know what is in half of the meat and things that we're eating anyways, especially when it comes to things like chicken nuggets. Okay. So at that point, I'm already wondering what the heck that is. And even if it's like vegan and it's like properly packaged up, I'm still like, what did you put in here? Because I don't know about you guys, but one day I went to Whole Foods, right? Got me like some vegan steak, I got some vegan chicken, and it jacked up my stomach, but it was vegan, right? So, sometimes I'm like, this is a great investment, especially because, they're talking about how we're running low on chicken. But at the same time, I kind of really want to know those ingredients, like being that you can make something like this out of something as simple as a mushroom. And then when you just start like grabbing all types of other ingredients and mushing it together, I'm just like, you're just trying to give me a stomach ache. And I frankly do not appreciate it. But if you guys end up trying out some vegan chicken, or you know about any like good vegan restaurants out here, definitely comment them below. Shoot me a DM. I would love to try them. I've heard about a veggie grill on South Lake Union. Haven't gone there, but I hear it's pretty fire. Um, let's talk about Seattle nightlife real quick. During my interview that we just aired earlier, if you missed it, you're just gonna have to run it back a little bit later because we're not gonna let you go right about now. But we talked about nightlife. So I ended up going to Thomas Warehouse, which is on South Lake Union. Didn't even know it was there. Definitely had full on Capitol Hill vibes, but nobody had a mask in there, right? And then, but also you have places like Vu Lounge that's open. You also have Stadium that's open. Stage is now open. So I say all of that to say outside life is opening, which I think is amazing. But I do also want to remind people that one person can go to the club, and then one person that goes to the club can be asymptomatic and give that whole goddamn club COVID. So not saying don't go out, but what I am saying is that my best practice whenever I go out is, as soon as I get home, I'll drink like 2 emergencies, those little emergency packets. I'll drink 2 of those and then I'm good to go. So at least that way I'm like putting some extra vitamins in my body, because to me, when it comes to this whole mask thing, freaking vaccinated or not, I have not gotten sick in over a year, which means I'm not getting colds, I'm not getting the flu, I'm not getting whatever stank breath you might be pushing out that day. I don't have to worry about that. And then frankly, what's even better, I was walking to CVS the other day, right? Walking down the street, minding my own business. I have my little mask down, and I saw somebody that I thought I recognized, and so I just put my mask up and I kept walking. It's the greatest thing ever. And when you don't have your mask on, people will see you and they're like, "Oh, okay," and then, they can talk to you. But sometimes I just really be trying to be on the move, and by having my mask on, I feel like I'm protecting my health and my energy at the same time when I don't want to be bothered. I don't know about you guys. Let me know if you're keeping your mask on. Let me know how you feel about this whole 50-50 mask thing, because they're saying we have to go through the honor system, but I'm like, this is the same country, like I said earlier, where we had people putting gas in garbage bags and buckets. Can you think? Let's not necessarily imagine the explosion, but kind of think about the explosion that would have happened had they have gotten in a damn car accident. Think about what could have happened had they have gotten in a car accident with multiple bags of gasoline in the back of their truck. Like, some of these people didn't even have the gas in their car. So I don't know. I feel like the honor system is cute, but the way this country is set up, some of y'all be acting real crazy. So I don't know. I just feel like I would rather keep my damn mask on. personally because you can't trust people these days, man. You can't trust people. Anywho, let me see what's next on the list. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Make sure you share the stream. Let's talk a little bit about something messy real quick, okay? You guys, well, scratch that. You guys probably don't know this, but before I started doing radio, I was actually doing a lot of YouTube, right? And I would go live on YouTube. Well, there was no live YouTubes back then, but what I would do is I would do reviews on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I would do reviews on Real House of Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop, different award shows, and not Love and Hip Hop. Real Housewives of Atlanta was my favorite thing for a minute, but eventually I just kind of stopped caring about other people's lives. Like, obviously I have to care a little bit, but sometimes these reality shows are so scripted that I just don't know what's real or fake, which brings us to this particular situation. Let me see if I can find the right little clip for y'all, because this is a mess. Like, there's girl code, and then there's like, sis, you got to do better than this. I don't even know if this is just going against girl code. This is just craziness. So Porsha Williams from Real Housewives of Atlanta is now re-engaged to this man named Simon. I am not even going to try to butcher that last name. Nobody has time for that. And what's interesting is that before Porsha, Simon was married to Fallon. Fallon is the girl in this photo in the orange, right? So Fallon came onto Real Housewives of Atlanta with Porsha. As you see, she's sitting with Porsha with her hand on Porsha's knee, looking real chummy and real friendly. No tea, no shade. If I don't know you like that, you're not putting your hand on my knee. Only my homegirls can do that. Like, sis, it's just a no. You know what I mean? So it's come out that Fallon and Simon have been divorced, right? They got divorced in, I want to say, January, or at least they filed for divorce. Since then, Porsha has been seen out with Simon, and they are now engaged. So people are like, if you guys have seen this online, that's why people were so upset. It's because Porsha brought Fallon onto Real Housewives of Atlanta as her friend. You guys know how these housewife shows work. If you're going to be introduced, you're not just going to be some barista at the store down the street. You have to have some kind of a connection, right? So she brought in Fallon, and she was introduced as her friend. And Fallon recently did an interview with Candy from Real Housewives of Atlanta. Well, not recently. This is actually an old interview, but it's now resurfaced after this situation happened, where she talks about how she actually met Porsha. Check this out.
You first came on to the show. You came on as a friend of Porsha's. So, what was y'all history?
Oh, you know what? It was more so through Dennis and Simon.
Okay.
They knew each other. They're in the same industry. You know, we own a nightclub called Republic, and Dennis was in that industry, and Simon was also in the restaurant industry. So they just would collide every here and there. And at some point in time, Porsha and I got to meet. And she was really sweet. She's always been very real and genuine. So we clicked.
Real and genuine, eh? Anywho, so it's also been alleged that Simon and Porsha's ex-fiance, Dennis, were business partners. Mind you, she's saying that they were introduced through their husbands, boyfriends, fiancés, whatever have you. So you basically have Porsha now engaged to her ex-fiance's business partner. It's kind of messy, kind of interesting. A lot of people are saying that she literally did it to secure the bag, because apparently Simon is worth $40 million. But what's interesting is that there's another girl that's coming out saying that she's been dealing with Simon, and she actually did a post on her IG, was like, damn, he moves faster than his car. If you actually zoom in on this, you see her holding a coat, and it's Simon's coat, and this photo was taken last month or something like that. So this is definitely a very, very, very messy situation that I'm honestly trying to figure out if it's 100% real, or if this is partly orchestrated for the show. Honestly, I feel like if this is partly orchestrated for the show, they both need to be making some guap, because this woman is getting a divorce. You just took her man, lightweight. I mean, I guess like Simon was trying to work it out with them. I don't know. I just feel like it's a little too close to home for me, but I would be lying if I did not say deep down, I was kind of like, well, he is worth $40 million. So I kind of get it. especially if they weren't really friends like that. Because let's be honest, that's what happens with these Real Housewives shows. You don't really know why people are hanging out. All we see are the photos. For all the heck we know, that could have been a photo of them hanging out just so they can be more acquainted because they planned on bringing her on the show. Now, in this photo, I do want to point out that the girl that's behind Porsha, who's in the middle, her name is Shamia. Shamia is Porsha's best friend. And I don't know if I don't think I put that clip together, but basically there's a screenshot where Porsha says that Shamia introduced them or is a good matchmaker. So it sounds like it was her homegirl's idea for her to get with Simon. I don't know, but I'm definitely probably going to watch next season of Real Housewives of Atlanta to get all this messy tea. Now, in other tea news, we have Joe Budden. I don't know if y'all know about Joe Budden, but he used to do this song called Pump It Up back in the day, right? Since then, I guess some people say that he was doing drugs at one point, especially when he was on Love and Hip Hop. He was like relapsing. But since then, he's cleaned himself up, allegedly, because I don't know what anybody does in their spare time. But cleaned himself up. He's had like all these successful podcasts, and one of them happened to be with this girl named Olivia Dope. So basically what happened is, I guess that she was doing a all girls podcast. It was her, Bridget Kelly, and this other girl. I don't remember who the other girl is. Either way, there was an episode where Joe Budden joined them and he made her feel very uncomfortable. He was saying things like, you don't look single. At least you're not dressed like she was like, you're not dressed like you're in a relationship. And he told the other two girls on the podcast that they don't dress sexy enough. He was asking her, he's trying to figure out what her triggers are. And she was like, I don't like telling people my triggers. And let me just let you guys see what she recently had to say about the situation. And I'll tell you why some people are kind of side-eyeing it.
My departure from See the Thing Is podcast, as well as the Joe Budden Network, I am here today to, still uncomfortable, but find the bravery to finally speak on a very embarrassing situation. Not only to start my healing process, but to help give encouragement to others who have similar stories of sexual harassment in the workplace. On January 18th, 2021, Joe Budden sat in on a recording of the female-led podcast I was a part of and continuously made sexual suggestive remarks to me that made me extremely uncomfortable, as well as fearful of dampening the mood if I didn't laugh along while he made those sexual remarks to me. Those moments were not only, excuse me, those moments not only live on the...
I thought that clip was longer, but we digress. She later on goes in to talk about start naming off little clips or timestamps, if you will, when you can look back and kind of see her receipts on what happened. There's a part where he hugs her and he's like, oh, can I have a hug? And she's like, all right. And she kind of awkwardly laughs. I don't know if it was an awkward laugh or not, actually, to be honest, because I don't know this lady, but she says she was awkwardly laughing. Anywho, he gives her a hug and she says, unbeknownst to me, he was moving his hips while they were hugging. And he actually was. You can see it in the video. He's kind of wigging his hips, doing a little samba or something like that. But they had space in between them, so she couldn't necessarily feel it. Since she came out with this video, Joe Budden has released a statement through Rolling Stone. I find it kind of messy that he released a statement through Rolling Stone. Sir, you're a damn podcaster. No tea, no shade, Joe Budden. You could have got your butt on YouTube and apologized on YouTube, but instead you want to make an official statement through Rolling Stone. That's a mess, but I digress. His apology says, as a podcaster, it is my job to address topics and create dialogue around them. During the conversation on the See the Thing Is podcast, I didn't handle the topics with the sensitivity they deserved. I recognize my words and power in that situation in creating an upsetting situation and environment for Olivia. Upon reflection, both the network and I take up accountability for this. But it's obviously you should have took accountability for that. But I really just feel as a podcaster, like he said, he should have honestly gone on YouTube and made that statement. He could have gone live. Heck, he could have done a live stream with her and had it just go live. I don't know. I just felt that was kind of a hey, we need to make sure we don't lose any sponsorships type thing. So I'm going to apologize now, because this happened a while ago. Like, you should have been said sorry to her. Obviously, she was uncomfortable and that's why she left. In other news with Joe Budden, this actually comes on the heels of him firing his co-host on the Joe Budden podcast. I want to say Rory and Mal. And he basically said that they were just bringing energies that was not conducive to the show. But in reality, Rory and Mal are like, no, we wanted to see the budget. Okay. In a nutshell, if you guys were wondering what happened with the podcast, the other two people that were on the podcast with him, I want to say they made 30% of whatever the podcast made. So they wanted to see the books. They wanted to see the numbers. I mean, you can't tell me that you made, 200,000 and I'm just supposed to believe you when my paycheck is a 30% of whatever you make. Like, obviously I need to see the numbers to know if it's correct. I guess Joe Budden got upset, didn't want to show them the numbers, and now I guess he's already replaced them. So I'm honestly really hoping that they can work this out, because they were all friends at one point, and I feel like this is one of those situations that reminds you, like, if you're going to do business with your friends, that's really when you need to have things like knit and tight and put together, because I feel like your friends are the main ones that would try you. It's like when you have your own business and you just launched your business and all your friends and family want free clothes. How does that make any sense? No. So in this particular case, it's like, you have your friends on your podcast. So it's like, oh, if I tell you this, you're just going to trust me because you're my friend, right? But if they kind of tug on your shoulder a little bit, and it's like, no, I really want to see what's going on. I want to see the numbers. Now, all of a sudden, it's like, you're this, you're that, you're insecure. No, I just want to make sure that the accounting is right. Like, what? I feel like the only time that you really hide things like that is if you have something to hide. So it seems like he might have had a little something to hide, because obviously it was easier for him to not go over their contracts again and not let them see the budget. I don't know. I think that's a messy situation, and it's very unfortunate, because I feel like that podcast was going for years. We are going to go to another quick break. First of all, I want to shout out to Derek of Loud and Brown. He does our graphics for the Rewind with Besa each week. So make sure you hit him up at loudandbrown.com if you need some graphics done for you. And then when we come back from this quick little commercial break, I'm going to talk to you guys about how I've been getting through my anxieties this month. Stay locked to the Rewind with Besa on Converge Media.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.
To keep that branding stuff out. They're not paying us for that now, are they? No, they are not. What's up? We are back. You're still locked into the Rewind with Besa on Converge Media. If you have any friends or family that is dealing with anxieties, definitely tell them to tap in, or at least share this stream with them so they can see it at a later time. Honestly, I'm going to be fully frank with you guys. I feel like my anxieties come a lot from childhood. And I think that's one of the reasons why I don't want children, because so many things happened to me as a child. I really don't remember a lot of it because I blocked it out. Trauma is real. And I think people don't like to admit when they have trauma, even if that trauma is just verbal. Like, it's a thing and it sits with you. It's kind of like a muscle memory type thing, if you ask me. And I feel like that's why sometimes we have so much anxiety and depression, because we're worried about certain things happening again, or we're worrying about things that happened in the past. So one of the things that I actually seen recently on TikTok, because I live on TikTok, was this guy. I don't remember his name. I think it's like Corey 2000 or something like that. And he said, people that live in the future are, people that have anxieties live in the future. He said people that are depressed live in the past. And he said people that are truly happy live in the now, which really breaks down to a couple things. If you are having anxieties, that means that you're worrying about what could happen. You're worried about potentially missing your bus. You're worried about losing your job. You're worried about someone breaking up with you. You're worried about falling down a flight of stairs. None of this has happened yet. This is literally all things in your head, right? So what he's saying in that instance is, if you are having an anxiety attack, ask yourself why you're having that anxiety attack. What are you doing to get past it? And how are you in your head creating this situation? I always like to tell people that when you have an argument with someone in your head and then you have an attitude with them and they don't have an attitude with you, you kind of have to remember that you're the one that had the argument in your head and nobody else heard it but you, right? So that's part of those anxieties and just kind of letting your mind play tricks on you. Then in terms of depression, people that live in the past, you're worried about things that happen. You're still having a heartache from a breakup. You feel crazy because, your job fired you and now you don't know what you're going to do next in life. And that's kind of depression and anxiety right there. But either way, maybe someone passed away, maybe, just things that have happened back when it could have been back a week ago that just has you just off of your rocker for a little bit. But that's why you're depressed, because you're thinking about things that happened before. Then when you're happy, you're kind of just going with the flow. I think people kind of get happiness a little bit mixed up in thinking that when you're happy, everything is going to be perfect. No one's life is perfect. No one's life is grand and just shining all the time. Like even Queen Beyonce got cheated on. So nothing is ever perfect. So you kind of have to be able to take the good with the bad and then just be able to reflect on, okay, this happened today, but this, and this also happened today. Kind of like weighing out your mood swings, if you will. At least that's what I do. So I definitely want, if you are having anxieties, to really think about them and think about what's causing that anxiety for you. You might need to meditate. You might need to go work out. You might need to do some Reiki. You might just need to sit in silence or walk around and clean up your apartment. I don't know. Do a 2-step. But figure out whatever you need to do to work through those anxieties and work past that depression, especially with us still having a little over a week left in Mental Health Awareness Month. I really wanted to use this month to grow myself, be a better person, and see myself as a person that everyone else sees. It's really, really hard or really weird that I say that out loud, but that's the reality. I think sometimes people are able to see so much of your own light because you're just like, I don't really know if that's really me. Is that really what's going on? It's like, yes, this is you. This is why you're great. So I've been just really taking this time to be completely sober, have not drank since April 30th. Not eating meat. I haven't ate meat. Well, I didn't even eat meat that day, but since the day that I saw that worm, and I've just been really working on drinking water, getting my sleep, being nicer to myself. I think sometimes our anxieties and depression are also just caused by just being mean to ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, I think remembering that we're all doing the best that we can is very, very important. And just giving yourself that pat on the back all the time, like, yes, having a pat on the back from someone else is great, but patting your damn self on the back and actually meaning it and really feeling it, like, oh my God, I got a promotion. And you're like, okay, that's great. But it's like, do you really think that's great? Do you really feel that it's great? You know what I mean? So figure out a way to feel good in the moment, however that works for you. I can only say what works for me. Also, I finally hit 11,000 followers on TikTok, so hallelujah to that. If you are not following me on TikTok, I definitely need for you to get into it. Is another way for you guys to kind of, get to know me, see what I'm like, see different portions of myself. I'm a lot more quirky than people think I am, but I'm also an awkward Black girl at the end of the day. So I sometimes have to be alone to be by myself or to be myself, and it makes it to where I'm more of myself when I'm out in public. So if you have not followed me on TikTok, I do want to share with you guys some music that I am listening to right now, because I truly do feel like music is a mood regulator. If I'm feeling down, or if I need to be inspired, or if I'm just feeling really good about myself, these are the songs that I've been listening to this week. So we got Ty Dolla $ign, By Yourself. The song is actually featuring Jhené Aiko. Big Sean, Why Would I Stop? Song definitely keeps me going. Nicki Minaj, Go Hard. I mean, that's like kind of self-explanatory what that song is about. Coffee Toast. This song is literally about giving grace and like gratitude to the blessings that you have in life, and not just for like the great things, but it's like the journey and the ups and the downs, because you don't really know what up is until you go down. Like, I've had so many stressful moments to where now I'm really able to look at where I'm at in life and be like, oh, all right, we doing this. And then there's also Young Baby Tate and her song I Am. I love that song because like literally she says, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm rich, I'm that B, I'm gonna get the bag, I'm not gonna take anyone's ish. Like I am am all woman. I am the empress, if you will. You know what I mean? Just getting into that glow energy, getting into that higher self energy. That's really what I've been all about. And, you know, I've been trying to make sure that I regulate the music that I listen to, regulate the shows that I'm watching, because all of that stuff gets subconsciously downloaded. And then you wonder why you're so groggy after watching 50 episodes of CSI. No shade to CSI, but you know you are a Debbie Downer, honey. So aside from that, I think we are gonna get ready to get out of here, you guys. Yeah, we're gonna end the show a little bit early tonight. Of course, I will be on KUBE 93.3 and Jammin' 107.5. So obviously we have KUBE here in Seattle. Jammin' is in Portland. So if you want to listen to me on KUBE tonight, you can hear me from 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. From 8 to 12 a.m. we will be in the mix with a bunch of different DJs from out here that you can see right over there. We have DJ FaZe, DJ Royboy, DJ Dilemma, and Lex Jones, because it is Saturday. And from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. I will be on Jammin' 107.5, which is in Portland. You can listen to both of these stations on the iHeartRadio app, child. It is absolutely free. Okay, you can take it wherever you want, download it on your phone, watch it on your TV, watch it on your laptop, or shall I say listen on your laptop. Either way, I hope that you guys were able to get some good tea today. I hope that you guys were able to check out, or shall I say are able to check out Tre Da Don's music, because it's very, very dope. Y'all know I do not like no whack music, child. I'm not going to give you anything bad. And then also start working past those anxieties and being a little bit nicer to yourself. Remind yourself that you are just simply doing the best that you can in the middle of a whole damn historical event, aka a damn pandemic, child. So anywho, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit me up on social media at Besa Gordon. And until next time, make sure that you are your own vibe and share the stream. Bye, guys.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.